Assalamualaikum. Hi, welcome back to another video lecture with Sir Shazwan for ELC270. So for this week, we'll be looking at Introduction to Organizational Hierarchy. So we'll be looking at what is an organization and what it makes up of, the hierarchy inside an organization. So without further ado, let's get to it. Right, first things first, what is an organization? An organization is normally made up of people who work in the organization. So you have the boss, the workers, the CEO, the board of directors, and everything. That is an organization. An organization structure helps the organization to function in a proper order. So this structure ensures the hierarchy of power in the organization. The employee, and then moving to the employee. So the employer is the one who is in charge, the boss. And employee is the people who works under the employer. Okay, so an organization should have an established structure or hierarchy to ascertain the responsibilities of the workers in the organization. So a good organizational structure allows for flow of information that leads to satisfactory or satisfaction. So a good organization should have something that a good structure that will be able to determine what should be done by who is responsible for this, responsible for that, responsible for that. When sometimes an organization that doesn't have an established structure, something like it's just put like this: you are the boss, you are the workers, you are the worker. Sometimes good work cannot be done properly. So you need to remember, when you are working in an organization, everyone have their own responsibilities. So you have to follow the hierarchy and then work based on your capacity. Okay, there are several types of organizational structure. Okay, there are different types of organizational structures. However, there is no strict or rigid rule that we should only follow a particular set of organizational structure. It depends on what kind of organization you are. Okay, some organization might even combine different types of structures to suit their needs. So you might some have like this bureau, then functional, maybe they combine with matrix or something. Okay, there are these other types of organizational structures. First one is the bureaucratic structure. We have functional, we have divisional, and we have matrix structure. We'll be going through one by one so that you will be able to understand the organizational structure. Because even though this is more towards learning about these organizations, but the language the language used is also important. You will be understand what is the meaning of these words in the when you are working in the future. Okay, first one, bureaucratic structures. So this kind of structure follows strict hierarchies in people management. Let me divide it into pre-bureaucratic bureaucratic structures, or post-bureaucratic structures. We'll go one by one. So bureaucratic, these structures are normally practiced by small companies where the central role is handled by this single key decision maker who is fully responsible for all decisions and operation. It means that this one boss handles every single thing for the management of the organization. In small organizations, communication is done on a one-to-one basis. So you interact with the boss one-to-one. So when the organization grows, the structure becomes a little more complex and requires a certain degree of standardization. So after pre-bureaucratic, we have bureaucratic structures. This is normally practiced the set of different management teams in different departments. So each department have their own teams and they have their own structure. So post-bureaucratic structures, it maintains strict hierarchies with a more open concepts, such as adopting techniques like total quality management. Okay, you can find out more about this on your own. Because if I try to explain it here, we'll be here until tomorrow. Okay. Then we have the second structure, which is the functional structure. An organization that practices functional structure will normally divide its managing based on its function. This helps to enhance efficiency of the function group. For example, all sales personnel are placed in the sales department while all administration personnel are placed in the administration department. So they split the structure into several departments which which the workers are really you have the skill or suitable for that department. For example, like mentioned in the example, sales personnel are put in the sales department, while administration personnel are placed in the administration department. Takkanlah if you are cleaner, then you put in the admin, then you put in the cleaner. Then what happens? Boom. Okay. In this way, management of this function group becomes manageable and effective. So when you have people who have the skill working in the department that their skill is very effective at, you will be you will be sure that the performance of the department will be increasing. Okay. It is normally used in large organization and has many advantages. So next one is the divisional structure. This is one of the organization that divides functional areas in the organization. Division may be defined by geographical stature, produce stature, service stature, or any other stature of management. So each division may function independently of its resources. What does it mean? Let's go to the example. Okay. A hotel chain may have hotels in different parts of the world and may function independently in each of the different geographical location. For example, maybe you are the manager, maybe you are part of hotels in Malaysia, for example, maybe. So they have different branches here and there, which sometimes may have different. They work differently. They might function independently. So okay, for example, one in a BEACH beach area. No, they are not the other one, but the beach area, pantai, may have like uh outdoor maybe like sand party or sand anything, or maybe the ones here who are near like a resort may have different activities, may have different programs there. So it depends on their on certain aspect like the geographical produce structure, whatever that makes them different. They will function independently based on what they have there. Okay. Therefore, each division can be deemed as a micro company of the main organization. Okay. Who? Matrix structure. An organization structure that combines both element of functional and divisional. It is combination of two different structures. So employees of the organization are placed on rules based on the function and the product. Let's look at an example. Computer programmers. Programmers can form a team based on their functions and may be involved in a product under project A. More than a team can be formed in the organization. So thus the company or organization can have computer programmers of project A, computer programmers of project B, and computer programmers of project C. So maybe they combine from. So each group have different workers, have different programmers. So they can pick some, combine into one big group, something like that. Okay. It might be hard to understand this, but try to look back it, understand it, read through other sources, then it will be clearer for you. Okay. So features of a public limited company. So a public limited company is a business organization that functions separately from its owners. So the shareholders own the company. However, if the company faces financial problems, the shareholders only lose the amount they have paid for the shares they own. If they put in 10,000 K, they lose the amount that they have paid for the shares. Okay, so their losses are limited to the shares that they own. The public limited company shares are openly or freely listed and traded in the stock exchange market. The company listed in the stock exchange market may also be known as public listed company. Okay. So sometimes you need to remember all of these kinds of companies because it might be asked in your assessments. So try to look at it to understand it again. Then we have private limited company. So these shares are limited. It's not for everyone. They are limited to their board of directors and those privately concerned with the company. Someone who has shares or anything, or maybe they are part of the company. So the shares of public limited companies are listed in the stock exchange market and open to the public, whereas the private limited are not. Okay, means that public limited companies can increase their capital by offering shares to the public in the stock exchange, whereas private limited company cannot do that. So listing in the stock exchange market enables trading of shares to be done easily in public. So private means that they're only for this certain groups of people that are related to the company. So if anything happens, they will be on their own. Whereas for public companies, public share companies, public what? Public limited companies. Okay, so they can open any kind of shares of within the company for others to buy, and they can get capital from there. So try to understand the differences between public limited and private limited companies. And that's it. It might be a quite hard to understand this. That's okay, no problem. I will give you the slides as well for you to understand and some additional resources for you to look through so that you will be able to understand more about it. So thank you very much for watching. Have a good one. See you in the next video. Bye bye.